The question of whether abortion is a sin is a deeply personal, moral, and philosophical issue that varies greatly among individuals and cultures. However, the Catholic Church teaches that abortion is a grave moral evil, grounded in its unwavering defense of the sanctity and dignity of human life. This teaching, derived from scripture, tradition, and natural law, provides clear guidance on the moral impermissibility of abortion. Below is a detailed explanation of the Church's position. Abortion is the deliberate and intentional termination of a pregnancy, resulting in the death of the unborn child. It is distinguished from spontaneous abortion, miscarriage, which is the natural loss of pregnancy without human intervention. Direct abortion, where the primary intention is to end the life of the unborn, is always considered intrinsically evil. Indirect abortion, which occurs as an unintended consequence of a medical procedure aimed at saving the mother's life, is evaluated under specific moral principles. When does life begin? The Catholic Church holds that human life begins at the moment of conception or fertilization, when a unique and unrepeatable human organism comes into existence. This belief aligns with biological evidence that life begins when a sperm and egg unite to form a zygote, containing its own genetic code and potential for development. The Declaration on Procured Abortion, 1974, states, "From the time that the ovum is fertilized, a life is begun which is neither that of the father or the mother, it is rather the life of a new human being with his own growth. It would never be made human if it were not human already." Let's also talk about ensoulment. The precise moment of ensoulment, the infusion of the spiritual soul by God, has not been definitively revealed. However, the Church teaches that from the moment of conception, the human being must be treated as a person, regardless of when ensoulment occurs. The potential presence of a soul demands full moral respect and protection. Pope St. John Paul II emphasized that, even if the presence of a spiritual soul cannot be ascertained by science, the mere probability of its presence would suffice to justify an absolute prohibition of any intervention aimed at killing a human embryo. The Church teaches that every human life is sacred and inviolable. As all people are made in the image and likeness of God, Genesis chapter 1 verse 27. Human life is a gift from God, entrusted to us to be nurtured, respected, and protected from conception to natural death. This principle forms the foundation of the Church's pro-life stance, emphasizing that the right to life is the most fundamental human right and a prerequisite for all other rights. The Church unequivocally declares abortion to be intrinsically evil, meaning it is wrong under all circumstances, regardless of intention or circumstances. It violates the fifth commandment, "You shall not kill," and offends the dignity of the human person. Pope John Paul II also declared, by the authority which Christ conferred upon St. Peter and his successors, "I declare that direct abortion, that is, abortion willed as an end or as a means, always constitutes a grave moral disorder, since it is the deliberate killing of an innocent human being." Let's also talk about the principle of double effect. The principle of double effect addresses cases where a morally good action has both a good and a bad effect. For an act to be morally licit under this principle, the following conditions must be met. 1. The action itself must be morally good or indifferent. 2. The bad effect must not be the means of achieving the good effect. 3. The intention must be directed toward the good effect, with the bad effect being unintended. 4. There must be a proportionately grave reason for permitting the bad effect. For example, in cases of ectopic pregnancy, where the embryo implants outside the uterus, the removal of the affected fallopian tube to save the mother's life is morally permissible. The death of the embryo is an unintended, indirect consequence and not the purpose of the procedure. The Catholic Church consistently opposes abortion. She teaches that it is a non-negotiable moral issue. Its condemnation is based on the intrinsic value of every human life and the inherent dignity of the unborn. No law or human authority can legitimize abortion, as it contradicts divine law and natural moral law. The Church urges Catholics to defend life actively, opposing abortion not only in personal conduct but also in societal and political arenas. Advocacy for laws that protect the unborn, support for women in crisis pregnancies, and compassionate care for all involved are essential elements of the Church's response to abortion. While the Church condemns abortion as an evil act, it approaches individuals with compassion and mercy, recognizing the pain and challenges that may lead someone to consider it. The Church invites those affected by abortion to seek healing, forgiveness, and reconciliation. Be challenged today to speak up for the unborn in conversations, education, and advocacy. Support pro-life initiatives and stand against laws that permit or promote abortion. Be moved to also provide practical and emotional support to women facing unplanned pregnancies. Connect them with resources like pregnancy centers and offer them hope and alternatives to abortion. Pray for the conversion of hearts, especially for those who promote or participate in abortion. Learn about the Church's teachings on life and share them with others to build a culture of life. Also promote healing and mercy. Encourage those who have experienced abortion to seek healing and forgiveness through the Church's ministry of reconciliation. By embracing and living out these principles, Catholics can contribute to a culture that cherishes life in all its stages and circumstances. Subscribe for more.